Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear girls, Assalamu alaikum. I hope all of you are doing well. So, today we will study a very short poem, Rose Aylmer, by Walter Savage Landor. So, let's get started. So, first, I will give you a brief introduction of the poet. Rose Aylmer by Walter Savage Landor. The timeline is given 1775 to 1864. Date of birth and date of death. Okay, now about the poet. He became a great classical scholar in spite of the fact that his education was twice interrupted by his being expelled both from Rugby School and Trinity College, Oxford. So, this point means that though his education was interrupted for two times because he was expelled from the college, but still he became a great classical scholar. Okay? And the second point is the best known of his prose works are his imaginary conversations, a large number of dialogues between men and women of various periods. So, as far as his works are concerned, his prose works, within his prose works, his imaginary conversations are very famous. And what is this work, imaginary conversations? These are a kind of dialogues between different people belonging to history or from history. Okay, so these are actually imaginary conversations, not the real ones. So his the best known of his prose works are his imaginary conversations. And what are these imaginary conversations? These are simply dialogues or in which the men and women from history they are conversing with each other. So this is imaginary talk. All right. Now Rose Aylmer, this poem. This is the introduction of the poem, or rather, I should say that these lines are about the title of the poem. Okay, Rose Aylmer. Who was she? A short poem by Walter Savage Landor, published in 1806, on the daughter of Lord Aylmer. She was Landor's early love, but she was sent out to her aunt at Calcutta, India, where she died at the age of 20. So, Rose Aylmer, this is the name of a lady whom Landor loved. But what happened? Because of certain reasons and because of this lady's mother's second marriage, she was sent out to her aunt at Calcutta, India, and she died over there. Okay, so Landor has written this poem for his lady love, and this lady whom he loved, Rose Aylmer. Okay, so this is the name of a woman, that lady. Now, this poem, this poem was written after the death of the beautiful Rose Aylmer. The poet says that it is useless to be of the race of the kings, to be divinely beautiful in form, and to possess every virtue and grace, because death wipes away all of these qualities. So, this poem was written after the death of that lady. I have already told you she was Rose Aylmer. But in this poem, the poet wants to convey a message that how much beautiful a human being is, how much elegant, how much stylish, whether that person possesses all the virtues and qualities, whether that person belongs to the race of kings, he is an emperor himself, or he or she is daughter of son of any king, whatever it is, ultimately what happens? That person has to die. Death wipes away all of these qualities. Death takes away all of these qualities from human beings. So, what is the idea? That how much beautiful, how much elegant, how much good in mannerism, how much stylish a person is, ultimately that person has to die because man is mortal. Okay? And death, it's a harsh and ultimate reality. It takes away all of these qualities from human beings. So, that lady, Rose Aylmer, whom Landor loved, whom the poet loved, she was very beautiful. She was elegant. She possessed all the qualities and virtues. Rather, she belonged to the race of the kings. She was a daughter of Lord Aylmer. But what happened ultimately? Death took away everything from her. Okay, so this is the idea. So it is of no use. This divinely beauty, this elegance, this style, this, um, you can say, these virtues, these qualities, they are of no use. So you should know that in the first half of the poem, in the first four lines, the poet tells us that it is of no use. This divinely beauty, this elegance, this style, this authority, these qualities, these virtues, they are of no use. Okay? And then in the second half of the poem, he says that he is sorrowful and he cannot sleep because of the grief of Rose Aylmer's death, because he loved that lady. Okay, so now I will proceed. Kindly open your books. It's page number 46. All right. Rose Aylmer by Walter Savage Landor. Okay, so I will read out these lines for you and then I will explain. Ah, what avails the sceptred race? What avails means of what benefit? The sceptred race, scepter. Basically, this word is SCEPTRE, which is pronounced as scepter. All right, and it means the authority of monarch. Okay, and the race of kings. You should underline it. What avails the sceptred race? It means that it is of no use whether you belong to the race of the king. Ah, what the form divine? What it is of no use. What is the benefit if you have a very good body or physique, or if you have a divine form, divine body, or you can say divine shape? What every virtue, every grace? All these virtues, your qualities, your virtue, your grace, your elegance, your style, it is of no benefit. It is of no use. What is the benefit of all this if you belong to the race of king? If you have divine body and divine form, if you have elegance, if you have grace, if you have goodness, if you have virtues, it is of no use. What is the benefit? Rose Aylmer, all were thine. All these were yours. Rose Aylmer. So, in these lines, the poet addresses Rose Aylmer, her lady love, his lady love, and says that it is of no use that you belong to the race of king. What is the benefit that you have a divine body and divine form? It is of no use that you have virtues, you have qualities, you have goodness, you have elegance. What is the benefit of all this? Rose Aylmer, you had all of these things, but it is of no use. So, this word thine, it means your. So, you should remove S. Not yours. It would be your. Just like thou, thou means THOU, thou means you. Okay? Thine, your. Then THEED, thee means you. So kindly remove S. Okay. Thine means your, not yours. So in these lines, this is what poet said, or you can say he addressed his lady love, Rose Aylmer, though she was not listening because she was dead. Next, Rose Aylmer, whom these wakeful eyes may weep but never see. This means that the poet cannot sleep. Wakeful eyes. Okay, so the poet cannot sleep due to the grief of Rose Aylmer's death. Okay, Rose Aylmer, whom these wakeful eyes may weep but never see. So the poet cannot sleep due to the grief of Rose Aylmer's death. He weeps, and his eyes cannot see his lady love, his beloved, because she is dead. A night of memories and sighs. So the poet sighs with grief, with sorrow, when Rose Aylmer's memories come to him. So he is recalling those moments which he had spent with her. And now this is a night of grief when he comes to know that Rose Aylmer is dead. Okay? I consecrate to thee. Consecrate means to devote yourself to something and making it holy and sacred. So he says that he has devoted himself to thee. Thee means you. So the poet has devoted himself to Rose Aylmer. And his love is very pure, very holy, very sacred. So in the first half of the poem, in the first four lines, he describes that this divinely beautiful in form, or this belonging to the race of the kings, to possess every virtue, grace, elegance, it is of no use. Why? Because death will take it away ultimately. Just like Rose Aylmer was very elegant, divinely beautiful, she had all the goodness, virtues, and qualities. She belonged to the race of the kings. She was Lord Aylmer's daughter. Then she had grace, she had elegance, but it is of no use. Why? Because death took it away. And could you see this use of were in the fourth line? Rose Aylmer, all were thine. Were means past. All these qualities were yours, but they are not now yours because you are dead. Death took these qualities away from you. Okay? And then in the second half of the poem, in the next four lines, he describes that he cannot sleep. He weeps due to the grief of Rose Aylmer's death. And for him, this is a night of memories and sighs. He sighs when the memories of Rose Aylmer's come to him. He's recalling those moments, those precious moments. And he has devoted himself to Rose Aylmer. So this is the poem. I hope you liked it. And if you do not understand anything, you may ask me in the WhatsApp group. Thank you, girls. And yes, one thing, use of this word, you see, these are exclamations and they describe the poet's grief and sorrow. Okay, so I thought that I should tell you about this as well. Okay, thank you now. Allah Hafiz.